Thank you everybody for joining the call. Most of you probably would have not met me, probably only by email. My name is Chaminda De Silva. I'm the Executive Director of SLASCOM. On behalf of SLASCOM, I welcome you to this webinar. The background to this is a couple of weeks ago, we reached out to our members and asked them whether they needed assistance in getting finance and understanding what was available out there. So a couple of weeks ago, we had a discussion on understanding the moratorium that the government had. And this time we have partnered with DFCC Bank, who are going to explain what this new special deposit account that the government is talking about, what it is, how you can use it, and also they will discuss about how they can help SLASCOM members on that. So today we have 3 presenters, as you can see in the page at the back. We have Anton Arumugam, who is the Vice President, Liabilities and Trade Business Development. We have Asiri Damalgoda and Shamindra Masili. So I'll just give you a quick introduction to them before we start. Anton has 8 years of banking experience, and as I said, currently the Vice President of Liabilities and Trade Business Development. Asiri Damalgoda has 25 years of professional experience in the fields of insurance, marketing, and banking. He currently serves as the Senior Vice President of Branch Banking and SME. And the third presenter today will be Shamindra. He has 22 years of experience with both foreign and local banks, and he is the Senior Vice President of Corporate Banking. So before we go on, just some housekeeping rules. The webinar is scheduled to last 1 hour, including the question and answers. We request all participants to mute their audio so that there is no disturbance when the presenters are talking. If you have any questions during the session, type it into the chat box and we'll take it after the Q&A session. So without much ado, I invite Anton to start his presentation.
Thank you, Chaminda. So it is a great privilege and honor to take part in this program. So first of all, I would like to thank SLASCOM also to organizing this event, which is going to give very interesting and informative information about the special deposit account that has been introduced by Central Bank recently. Before moving on, let me give a brief introduction about DFCC Bank. Maybe all may be aware of the brand name. So I'll just quickly touch upon the bank. It has a renowned history of over 65 years in Sri Lanka, and is presently rated as AA- by Fitch, which is in par with ratings of other leading banks in the country. We always supported and promoted industrial growth. We are also proud to have supported many entrepreneurs, especially in the early stages and the risky start of the business. We also earn a reputation for being one of the fastest growing financial institutions that has always kept evolving and expanding business in keeping with the changing needs of its customers and the nation. Today, full service commercial bank, DFCC Bank, offers full range of commercial banking and development banking service under one roof. So let's move on to the topic, SDA account. So SDA account that has been introduced by the Central Bank with the Monetary Board, that under this scheme, any Sri Lankan here or overseas can be open, and the non-nationals also can be open. And the fund should be kept minimum of 6 months to enjoy the preferential rates. and funds can be freely convertible and repatriable outside Sri Lanka at maturity. Before moving on to the features, let me give some brief introduction why the rationale behind the central bank to introduce this scheme at this moment. As you know, Sri Lanka rupee has been seen a sharp depreciation amidst this COVID-19 pandemic. And Sri Lanka has to pay $4.8 billion this year. And the next large payment of $1 billion is due in September. These are public information. This in the public domain, so that's the reason I'm sharing with this. And this is this initiative, the proposal came in to keep in line with the part of a string measures implemented by the government in conjunction with the central bank. Since mid-March, we see the lot of efforts to be mitigate negative effects in the economy. So, with a view of preserving the foreign currency reserve position of the country and minimizing the pressure of the existing pressure on the exchange rate, and considering the possible negative impact to the economy due to the outbreak of COVID-19. So, if I say for the product features that any the eligibility person that can be opened under SDA is Sri Lankan individuals, resident outside Sri Lanka, dual citizens, and citizens of other states with Sri Lankan origin, non-nationals, funds of corporate bodies, associations, incorporate outside Sri Lanka, and also any other well-wishers. So the segment has been very broadly kept that to open account under this scheme. The minimum deposit that has been not prescribed, so that any amount that can be opened under foreign currency or convertible in Sri Lankan rupees and we can open. But to enjoy the benefit, you have to keep the minimum period of 6 months. So that's all from me at the moment. Chaminda?
Yeah, thank you, Anton. If there are any questions for Anton, you can ask him now, or we can come back. You can type it in the chat box and we'll take it after the Q&A. Okay. So next we have Shamindra Marceline. Shamindra, can I ask you to take over and do it?
To the people on the webinar and all SASCOM members, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. On behalf of DFCC Bank, I head up commercial banking as introduced by Chaminda at the start. I just like to add a few points to what Anton mentioned with regard to the overall dynamics that is basically being played out today. As you all know, the COVID-19 pandemic is a global crisis. And in order to recover from this, all countries do things very differently, starting with what they could source through their internal business, and the economy. So this introduction of a special deposit account is nothing new. If you can recall, perhaps some of you all would have even opened such accounts. That is known as SFIDA, which was introduced somewhere around 2005, 6, 7, at the height of our civil war, which again was very similar to a situation that we are faced with, where the reserves were falling and the economy was basically having something like 1.5 months of import capability. And a clarion call was made for all diaspora overseas, whether it is individuals overseas or non-resident Sri Lankans, and even non-nationals to open SFIDA accounts and help restart and resuscitate the economy. So something similar to that. Of course, this is a more global issue, and I think the call out here is to ask all Sri Lankans to basically look at the country's economic revival and bring in that, support. Now, one would basically look at a few factors when looking at investing in SDAs or investing in Sri Lanka, right? So some maybe looking at the sovereign risk factor. Then you look at the entity risk factor. So from a sovereign risk factor, I think what one needs to take comfort is that Sri Lanka has never defaulted any of its debt obligations, be it whether it's bilateral or whether it is basically sovereign bonds issued in the international market since 2004-5, I think. That was when we first went out and raised $500 million. So to date, we have an impeccable debt repayment record. On top of that, if you look at the entity risk, DFCC, as Anton rightfully mentioned, we are a Fitch-rated bank. We are one of the very few banks to be rated by an international rating agency. And DFCC has had a record of going out there in 2013 and issuing a sovereign bond, not a sovereign bond, an international bond, which was basically $100 million. So we do have history behind us in going out to international markets and raising funds. So looking at our capabilities, what we feel is that, or rather from a corporate perspective, SLASCOM members today, I mean, if you take the revival of the economy put forward by the leading audit firms like KPMG and EY, what you see is that most of them basically look at the ICT and the e-commerce industry recovering much faster than the rest. So today, I mean, I think all of you all who are partners to SLASCOM and the IT industry are the ones who are going to perhaps assist in the immediate recovery of this economy. And we are very keen to partner SLASCOM members to facilitate this. So from a convenience and a strategic perspective, we have a decent branch network. Internally and externally, we have correspondent banking networks with the likes of Standard Chartered, Deutsche Bank, and also HSBC. So these are internationally reputed banks where we can facilitate transfers without any issues for customers. And when you look at the internal mechanics of our footprint, we have over 125 branches. We are located in very much where most of the IT companies are located, be it whether it's Malapay or whether it is close to, or rather in Colombo Centricity. So as a result, that convenience we can assure in terms of our delivery channels. We have a very good cutting-edge platform which can assist in fund transfers, payments and cash management module is, I think, second to none. Having worked at HSBC before, I can assure you that the payments and cash management module that DFCC does is extremely efficient and very convenient. So in that sense, I think we are well set to facilitate this program. Now, I'd like to just highlight a few other things which you can take into consideration. If you look at bank interest rates globally, especially the US and Europe, in parts of Europe it's negative. You don't actually get a return on it. And in the US it's very, I mean, they were picking up, but now again they foresee recession, so interest rates have been held. And I think the most they would pay there is about 1 to 1.5% on your monies. So our appeal is interest rates are very attractive. So as an investor, you would be concerned on three matters. One would be the return of capital, not return on capital, but return of capital, right? Which, as I mentioned before, as a sovereign and as an entity, there has been absolutely no default. Secondly, I just noted a few things just so this give me a minute, is the interest rate. So we are, I think, if you look at the rates that have been offered, we are very competitive. And like Anton mentioned, minimum 6 months and up to a year, you get a 1% and a 2% premium on top of the rate sheets that's been published. And thirdly is your credit risk, which I briefly mentioned in terms of the sovereign risk and the entity risk. So all in all, I think what we would like to do is to facilitate this process and partner Slascom and its members in assisting in the rebuilding of the economy. That's basically my presentation, and I'm more than happy to take up any questions anyone needs any clarifications.
Thank you, Shamindra. If there are no questions at the moment, can I ask RCV to do this presentation?
Thank you to Slascom for giving this opportunity. I think Anton and Shamindra has mentioned everything about it, but a little bit from our side, because we manage mainly the branch side, so we were more focused on the individuals who were interested in the SDA accounts. So from our side, what we did in the last 2 weeks basically is try to promote the product, and also we have promoted this product overseas because I think the product doesn't indicate, or it opens up to anyone who is interested in investing in Sri Lanka, and also anyone. And there is one of the clauses of the people who can invest is a well-wisher. So when you say well-wisher, it basically allows anyone to come and invest their funds in Sri Lanka. So what we have done is we have made it very easy for them. We have had some customers who are calling us. Some of the questions they have is the account opening. So for account opening, we have made it easy. We send the documents through email. They can fill it and send it back while we get the account open and give them a number and everything for them to send the funds. They need to send the original documents back to us to make it viable, because if that is not done, we will not be able to send the money back. So from our side, that's what we have done, mainly to make it easy to open the accounts, and also to promote the product, and also to give a very attractive rate. I think our rate is no second to any other bank at the moment in Sri Lanka. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, RCB. Is there anybody who would like to ask any questions? So while people Anton, there is a question, I think something I raised with you privately earlier, just to get to understand. I know you explained it, but just to clarify, can an existing company bring it, you apply for this SDA account, or is it that you have to be a new entity, or what forex earnings does it encompass? Open to either one of you all, whoever wants to.
Yeah, if I answer that, I think this SDA is for anyone, basically new or even a current customer, but the SDA account funding has to be done, it has to come new, and it has to come from outside the country. So you can't open up a SDA account and transfer from a local bank. Already the money is in the country. So I think the government is trying to bring in new funds. So whatever is in the country at the moment is not counted. So you need to bring in new funds to fund the SDA account.
So if it's a Slascom member and has money that has not yet come to Sri Lankan shores, a payment that's coming
you
in,
can
that's
deposit
eligible
into a SDA account, but it has to be in that 6 months or 1 year deposit.
Is there a date for that, or is it?
I think the date goes all the way up to September. There is a 6 months. They gave it for 6 months. Anton, if you want to confirm that, you're on mute.
Anton, you're on mute.
It started on 8th of April. To answer the question that you have asked, to further elaborate in more details, Asri covered up the foreign money that should come from overseas. That is one point. The point number 2, the question that you asked, whether existing company can be opened. Yes, they can, or new startup company also they can. As Asri clearly explained, the segment has been very broadened. But the funds, existing company, if they have existing accounts that they cannot bring to that existing account, they should open a special deposit account. Then they have to transfer to a FD to enjoy this benefit. If it is an exporter, exporter currently will have a business foreign currency account. So even that account, the money that you can't bring into that account, you have to open a separate account under SDA. The other option is the exporter can open under their personal directors or partner's name and bring new money and transfer to a SDA fixed deposit account. These are the 3 options. In addition to that, if the exporter having a FCB account, yes, they can use the existing FCB account and bring the money and open an SDA account. That's also possible. So these are the options available for the SDA. And apart from that, we do consider cashback facilities against the money that you bring under SDA. So that also we will be consider. We are currently offering a rate at the rate of AWPLR. So today's rate was 9.41. So which is very attractive, very competitive compared to the other banks offering at the moment. So just one more adding to the question, I think this will be a more clear explanation. If an exporter bringing, as you know, they should bring the proceeds within 180 days. So exporters proceeds, sales proceeds are parking into this account will not be permitted, that they have to bring it to a separate account, and we should comply a separate direction by the CBSL that the money should come within 180 days. But if they want to invest separately under SDA, that should come under separately in a separate. Chamindra?
Yeah, hi, thank you.
I'd just like to add something to that, and I would also like Anton and Asri to either tell me whether my thinking is right or wrong. But I think, see, the circular and the directive by the central bank came out, as Anton mentioned, on the 8th of February. And it took some time for establishments to, sort out the product development and actually launch this product. So if I'm not mistaken, if anyone has received any overseas remittances post that has gone into their routine accounts, I think by virtue of them producing the correct evidence that these monies have actually come from overseas, they are perhaps permitted to open these accounts. I understand that this is possible. If anyone needs any further clarification, we will also internally check this. I perhaps can be, stand to be wrong on this, but I think it's possible. So maybe Anton can also just explain that, Anton, for the benefit of those, given the time lag of the circular and actually the product coming onto the market.
Yeah, this has been launched on 8th of April. So the funds that has been received after 8th of April that can be into SDA account can open and to provide the benefits that under this scheme. So this will be extended for the moment by the bank. The validity of these special benefits rates will be given only for a period of 6 months from it.
There is another. It's between SDA and foreign currency accounts like PFCA or NRFC.
Can I answer that? Yeah. Yes. Now the NRFC accounts, they have redesignated as personal foreign currency account. Now there is no NRFC accounts. It goes under personal foreign currency account. Then there are other business, people may be very familiar with FII accounts. Now that also has been redesignated as business foreign currency account. So as I mentioned, the options, they have kept the window open. The accounts type that can be invested under SDA is IIA account, that is inward investment account. That account cater to the non-national resident in outside Sri Lanka. Then non-national of Sri Lankan origin who resident outside Sri Lanka, and Sri Lankan citizen resident outside Sri Lanka. So IIA account, individual companies incorporated in Sri Lanka also cannot open. The companies incorporated outside Sri Lanka only can be open. Then we have business foreign income, the FCB account. IIA, FCB account, and the third one is the account open under SDA. These are the three categories that the central bank permitted to provide these special benefits. So, if an individual want, yes, they have to open a new account under SDA. If the company wants to bring the money, yes, they should open an account separately under SDA and they can transfer. Or the countries, the company maintaining IIA account, which of course the companies incorporate outside Sri Lanka, they also can bring money. Then the FCB account holders also, they can bring money and enjoy this benefit.
Okay, thank you. So there's another question. After 6 months, what will be the interest rate?
So it is clear, the central bank has given the clear instruction that the deposit are placed for 6 months, 1% above the published rate, and if it is kept deposit placed for 12 months, 2% above the published rate, people who invest 6 months from the 8th of April. Thereafter, they have not given any instruction that the continuation of this privilege or the special rates will be given. So, which is, if they wish to continue and bank with us, then we will be applying the current published rate. At the moment, we are from 20th of May, we are going to offer 4.5% for 12 months dollar deposits. With the subsidizing of 2% from central bank, our rate under this scheme will be 6.5 for 12 months and for 6 months 5%. Upon maturity, if the central bank decided to discontinue this offer, we will be applying the published rate prevailing at that time at the date of maturity.
Okay, thank you. There's another question that says, is there any literature in soft copy form that you can share with potential investors?
Yes, we can. We have e-flyers and any other information that they are expecting us, and also our website give all the criteria and the requirement and the documentation and the process that we follow, all clearly explained in our website also. But the members can contact any three of us for any further information required or any other clarification that they have.
Okay. There's another question says, what is the purpose of this account for account holders? Can the person who typed that in actually give a bit more information on that? The account? What is the purpose of this account for account holders?
I think the main purpose is, I mean, it's as a foreign, I mean, it's the currency, it's a deposit account. So basically, it's no difference between a normal FD, but the only good thing is that if the money comes new from outside, the government is giving a subsidy of 2% on top of the current published rate. So as a product, I think there is no difference between a normal FD product, but the good thing is there is a 2% additional interest given by the government as a subsidy.
Okay, thank you, Asim. So for SLASSCOM members, is there any special rate you look at, or?
For Slashcom members, I mean, our rate is already, I mean, if the money is already here in Sri Lanka, yes, we could look at some special package for them. Our main proposition is called Pinnacle. That is our flagship proposition. We could see how we can get them on board to Pinnacle, or the second one is called Prestige. So we can give special promotional packages to Slashcom members. I think we also gave a proposition before for their car loans, where we can try to see if we can give them bullet payments for repayment. So we are willing to, from the product side, not only on this SDA account, but as a product or as a bank, to look at Slashcom members to give them special deals.
Thank you, Asif.
the bank side. Yeah.
So who do they contact? Do they contact you or either one of you?
Contact me.
Okay.
I will get it sorted.
Anyone is, sorry, this is Shamindra. I think all three of us can be contactable. From a corporate perspective, we have already set up a dedicated RM to reach out to Slashcom members for any form of clarification or assistance with regard to any account opening. I think what I like to reiterate here is that when you look at the country situation in the global context, it's up to all of us, whether it's banking or IT or any other industry, to look at doing things differently. And I think the carry-on call here is, given the fact that the IT sector is spearheading the revival, and I mean, even during the pandemic, I think a lot of people would have started doing things very differently using e-commerce and ICT, and that's just going to stay on and probably grow because of the benefits that people have realized out of this. Looking at it from a global perspective, you all are the ambassadors for Sri Lanka in the IT world overseas, and please don't try and restrict this to only yourselves, but your long-standing clients who are probably reaching out to you all and asking you all if things are okay and how we are coping, etc. And if they also can come on board under this category, because it's not restricted to only Sri Lanka. And that's why I mentioned about our correspondent banking network, because when they know that we have the connectivity to the Standard Chartered banks and the HSBCs, the much big banks in the Middle East and HSBCs in Asia, and the Deutsches in Europe, it gives them comfort that transferring of money, etc. The sovereign risk, as I mentioned, most of you all have probably clients sitting in Europe and in the US. And if you take our sovereign issuances since 2004, 65% on average are US investors. If you take our export industry, it's led by mostly garments today. Again, the big brands like the Nikes, and the Victoria's Secrets, they've all invested in Sri Lanka. So America is a big investor in Sri Lanka. They are quite familiar with the Sri Lankan credit, the Sri Lankan sovereign. And so please look at not only restricting this to yourselves, but to pass on this message to the wider community. Those are your principals, perhaps, and your clients overseas, to look at investing in Sri Lanka, because everyone will get through this process. It's who basically takes the first mover advantage and adapts very quickly. So our role here from a corporate banking perspective is to facilitate that. And someone spoke about there's an interest rate advantage. We will not get, or none of these customers will get overseas just on a vanilla term deposit, virtually risk-free instrument. So that's my message to all of you all.
Okay, thank you, Shamindra. There's another question. Somebody has gone to your website. It says the website states US dollar rate is 4.5%. There is no mention about an addition to that. Can you please confirm the rate for US dollars, Australian dollars?
We do have a separate landing page that describes about the special deposit account. Probably
sorry, I think that's where that person has gone to. If you just check.
Yeah. So its concern is about the Aussie dollar or the US dollar?
Just saying, can you please confirm the rate for USD/AUD? So
okay. Currently, US dollars, that our sweet rates are for 6 months, 4.5, and 6% that we offer under this scheme, SDA scheme, but the published rate is 3.5% and 5%, 4%. For 6 months, published rate is 3.5% and 12 months is 4%. So with the subsidies given by the central bank for 6 months is 4.5%, 4.5%, and 12 months 6%. From 20th of May, we are going to revise the interest rate and we are going to increase by 0.5% of both tenors. As a result, the sheet rate will be 4% for 6 months. Under this scheme, for 6 months will be 5% because central bank providing only 1% subsidized rate for 6 months tenor. If it is for months, the rate will be increased from 4% to 4.5% from 20th May. So the under SDA scheme that we will be offering plus 2%, that is 6.5%. So that's the rate for US dollar.
I hope that answered your question. There's another question that says, communities in overseas normally sending money to Sri Lanka. So Anton, can these people send money to this account, the SDA account?
Yes, from overseas, certainly. That is the whole objective because the central bank muted the foreign inflows due to disruptions in exports. And the constituted of selling of government securities as explained by Samindra by the foreigners. So Sri Lankan rupee has come under severe pressure. So that's the reason, the main objective of central bank that bring new money from overseas. Yes. So as I explained, the people to bring money for them to transfer scheme, they should have a SDA account, savings account that they need to open and transfer. For the existing accounts, only the FCBU customers can bring the money to the existing accounts and enjoy this benefit. Unless otherwise, all others should open a separate account under SDA.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? I think you have explained it thoroughly to us. Is there any more questions from anybody? So gentlemen, you will share your contact details with us so that we can share it with the people who have come for the webinar, including I think the flyer you said you had. And okay, another question, do you know about the tax implications on the interest? Sorry, go ahead.
All tax regulations are, as per the government directive, are exempted from this investment. So generally very relaxed on exchange control the money that you maintain in the foreign currency, but they have excluded and exempted all the tax regulations applicable for the foreign currency. The deposits are placed under this special scheme.
So is it only for period though, the concessions that they're giving? At the end of the period, what happens in the SDA account? Is there any clarification?
Anton, I'll just take that and maybe you can add on. I think the confusion here is that if you take a situation in 2019, prior to the presidential elections, there were taxes imposed on foreign currency accounts. So whatever interest you earn, it was basically subject to withholding tax. Post the November presidential election and subsequent victory of the current president, those taxes were taken off foreign currency earnings. So whether it is an RFC, NRFC, to my knowledge, the taxes were removed. So this comes under that scheme, like Anton mentioned. This scheme does not attract any taxes. It is exempt from taxes. It's a scheme valid for 1 year. The success of the scheme would determine whether it will be extended or not. And the overall situation in terms of the global economy, because at the moment, given the volatility, the government is unlikely to go to the market and raise money by way of international sovereign bonds as yet. If things recover within the next 3 months to 6 months and things get a bit more stable, then there might be a window for them to go and issue an international sovereign bond, etc. But alternatively, these are the measures they're taking to try and bridge that gap of funding. So when you look at 1 year, I don't think that's too much of a horizon. And given the recovery period envisaged by the experts, the economic recovery is going to take at least 12 to 18 months. So there's a high probability that it will get extended. But as far as I think the present government and I mean, obviously there's going to be an election and we need to wait and see, who would be the victors post that, is likely to not impose any taxes on foreign currency because that is the need of the hour. So by trying to stifle that would mean that they are not going to attract people to invest in these foreign currency instruments. So it's unlikely that they would take that measure at this current juncture. Although they did revise the pay tax, because initially I think there was pay tax that was taken off and employers are basically paying that prior on behalf of the employees. Now there is an option to pay it yourself or up to the employer who would also then pay on your behalf. So that's the only, perhaps shall I say, reduction that took place. Other than that, on the foreign currencies, as far as I'm very clear that it's not applicable. I hope I answered that question.
Okay, thank you, Shamindra. Is it possible to open an SD account online from another country? How would they open, if there's somebody overseas and wants to open an account, what would be the process? Can it be done online?
Yes, we have the application in our website. So they can download the application and complete it and forward it to us or email it to us. And subsequently, they can submit the original documents. So, and also they can transfer the funds once they submit the application. But they have to ensure that the original documents reach us before the maturity date, because we will not let the funds to move out until we receive the original document.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Any more questions? Okay, doesn't look like there are any more questions. For me, I think I understand that you all have covered this topic very thoroughly. And I'd like to thank all three of you for taking time off to explain this scheme to us, and also for looking at SLASCOM members differently, because we are not your normal borrowers out there. We don't have traditional assets, so we'd like you to keep that in mind when any of our SLASCOM members come in for any facilities. I'd like to also thank the webinar participants for joining us, and hope that we have helped you to understand what the SDA account is about and that you would consider opening one. We will share the recording of the webinar, the contact details of Anton, Shamindra and Asiri that you can contact if you would like to get more information and account. And of course, look at borrowing against the was it a fixed deposit account, Anton said they need to open? Or was it against the SDA?
Yes, let me, before closing, we also would like to mention that despite the policy rate cut that came recently, the SDA standard deposit facility rate stands at 5.5%, and the standard lending facility rate stands at 6.5%. Despite to that, we have introduced offering a special deposit for the people above 55 years. Because we know some of the people depend on the monthly interest earned from the deposit. So in order to provide them timely relief for them, so this campaign is we are holding on till 31st May. Under this campaign, they are eligible to get interest rate 10% for 12 months deposit at maturity. If they are placing on a monthly basis interest to pay out, but it should be 12 months tenor, we pay 9.75%. It is absolutely a brilliant offer at this moment of time. Invite all of the Flashcom members or inform their parents or friends, relatives to enjoy the benefit, because this is the period that we are limited only up to 31st May.
Okay, thank you, Anton. There's some questions coming in. I think we have some time. Is it okay if we take those questions, Anton?
Yes, sure.
It says, if one person is working in home in Sri Lanka for a foreign company, is there any deposit limit to enjoy this rate benefit?
Yes, he can. Then he has to bring the money from overseas. He can open, so he will be categorized as a non-national resident in Sri Lanka. Am I correct? He is working, non-national working in Sri Lankan company, is that?
It doesn't say it's a non-national. It just says it's a person who works from home in Sri Lanka. So I'm assuming it's a Sri Lankan.
Yes.
Yes. If he's getting paid in foreign currency and it's coming from out, it can go into SDA account. But then he has to keep that money for 6 months or 1 year to enjoy the benefit.
Right. Okay, I think that was what was being asked. Thank you.
Right. And there is no prescribed limit. I saw a question that has been posted. So minimum deposit, there is no prescribed amount or limit. So they can bring any amount of money and place under this account.
Okay, thank you. So I won't go through the whole thing again. I just want to thank all three of you and everybody who joined the webinar. I will share all the details with you subsequently. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye.